What's going on, guys? My name is Aldenero and welcome to episode 126 of my career mode series. We're with Manchester United at this point and we're starting off this episode with a Champions League game against Bayer Leverkusen, where we're looking to continue our 100% record in terms of wins in the Champions League group for the first time, because every other time I've been in the Champions League I have had a shambolic group campaign. So it is pretty interesting to be kind of looking towards an early advancement from the group. To have qualification secured early is going to be a pretty good thing for us. The Bayer Leverkusen team is pretty good. They have Tadic playing just behind Gamero with Son out on the left hand side. He's obviously a really good and really fast player, and Bayer Leverkusen surprised us in the 10th minute with the first attack of the game as the ball comes to Gamero, who plays it into Tadic, who puts them 1-0 up at Old Trafford. I couldn't say if it were for or against the run of play, to be honest, because it was just the start of the game and Bayer Leverkusen were all about that possession, maintaining without any attacking, and that was their first attack of the game, indeed the first attack of the game, and they scored from it, and we conceded a free kick in the 24th minute. I just want to say real quick, this video obviously is going up early on Saturday morning, and until 6 p.m. today you guys will be able to vote for the next team in my next career mode series. If you go to this video, it's the video before this video, I'll leave it in the description. I made a video laying out the 4 options I have for my new series, and they will all be in the straw poll, which is in the description. Do you know what, I'll just put it in the description of this video also, and basically votes will be open until 6 p.m. today, at which point they will close, and whatever team has the most amount of votes is the team that I will manage next. But just beyond the half-hour mark, Timo Huppertz goes forward. He plays it into Gareth Bale, who scores with that 2-star right foot of his to equalise for us, having come close moments before. And then we come up to the 39th minute of the game with Gareth Bale on the ball once more as he loses it, but it comes to Villalba, who plays it into Vieto, and the two V's combine, but the shot goes wide. Then we come up to the 47th minute of the game, I do believe it was, as the ball comes to Vieto once more and he takes on Bender at the Leverkusen defence, and he gets allegedly fouled here, I think, or no, he doesn't. He actually keeps running. Never mind, I should have not said anything there, but he goes for the shot from distance and it's saved in strange fashion by the Leverkusen goalkeeper, but you will have that. Then we come up to the 50th minute of the game with Gamero playing the ball into Bender. He finds Kramer on the edge of the box, who approaches the goal and gets very, very lucky with his chance before playing it into Kruse, and then seeing the ball go into Gamero, who left it for Bender, who strikes it off the post, and we clear the ball away. And then we come up to the 56th minute of the game with Vieto on the ball as he approaches goal, and this time he gets fouled. It's a strange kind of a foul. I guess it was a body check or a bit of obstruction or something, but it didn't really look that bad. But the ball gets Bale dispossesses one of the Leverkusen defenders and gets into the box before firing home to complete the comeback and put us 2-1 up in the game as we take the lead for the first time just before the hour mark, coming from a goal behind, which is pretty good. But we come up to the hour mark of the game with Bender on the ball, and he knocks it around Alberto Jordan really well before playing it into Gamero, who has a look up and tries to find any option. Eventually he goes wide to Vendel at left back, who goes back into Gamero, who's playing just behind the kind of box at the moment before playing it back into Kramer. He finds Gamero, he plays it to Bender, Bender plays it back to Gamero, and what a goal that is from Bayer Leverkusen to equalise in this game. I did not see that coming because of the way that they were playing. Like, sure, they were a goal up and they protected their lead very well, but they were playing a much more defensive game than we're used to playing against, really. Like, they were just all about passing the ball and not really providing much bite going forward. But this goal was pretty spectacular. You can't really complain about going behind to a volley like that, and the game ends in a 2-2 draw. We couldn't really get near the Leverkusen goal after that. It was as if they were playing for a draw. But our next game was against Blackburn Rovers as we go away from home to Ewood Park, I believe it is, where Bayern Blackburn play. They're bottom of the league with 4 points from 8 games. We have double, they have half the points from the games that they've played, and we have double it. There's some quick maths that I just did. I think they're playing with Abel Hernandez up front as well, which I actually find pretty interesting because their team looks very kind of I guess it's not really a high quality Premier League team, no disrespect to it, but like, you can understand why they're struggling so much. But it's interesting that they've managed to add Abel Hernandez. I think it's Abel Hernandez because of this in the 36th minute as Noon plays the ball into him, and on his right foot he just blazes it over hilariously, and I just assumed that left-footed players never have a good right foot in video games, so I just assume it was Abel Hernandez. But Timo Huppertz comes forward in the 51st minute. He plays the ball into Hector Villalba, who uses his pace to get round Hanley inside the box and blast it first time into the back of the net. I actually thought that was a really neat goal because just Huppert surging forward and playing the ball in. True balls are never perfect, but it was Villalba's pace and the power in the finish that made it what it was, because usually those tend to be either under hit or over hit, or else they're hit perfectly but the striker stops running, and that's because this game is terrible in terms of how it's coded and I hate it. But in the 55th minute, Jordan Rhodes smashes his header off the crossbar as Blackburn kind of woke up a little bit, and then we come up to the 67th minute with Andrade on the ball. Victor Andrade, is that his name? Victor? There used to be a defender for Deportivo La Coruña called George Andrade or Jorge Andrade, and he was like a really, really highly rated defender whose career was pretty much ravaged by injuries, but like he could have been such a good top level defender. Deportivo used to be a good team though, to be fair. They used to be in the Champions League. Don't know why I'm talking about them, as Jordan Rhodes equalises in the 72nd minute for Blackburn Rovers. Completely a surprise, like even though they did come close, I just never thought that they would get that close, and Rhodes' shot was seemingly straight at David De Gea. I thought he should have done a lot better with that, but we changed to all out attack in the 82nd minute and came forward with Raphael on the ball, coming forward from right back into midfield. He plays it to Gareth Bale, who does an unnecessary scoop turn and plays it to Nick Powell, the second half substitute. He finds Luke Shaw approaching the left hand side, who finds Bale in the centre, and I was trying to get it onto Bale's stronger foot and go for the shot, which is exactly what I did, but sadly his shot was nowhere near good enough to beat the goalkeeper. But we got a corner kick in the final minute. Bale will get another chance, but sadly he could not keep his header down, and we get yet another draw in the league, which is really frustrating because we now have more draws than victories in the Premier League, and that's just not good enough, because I want one of those vacant jobs from any high rated Spanish team named Real Madrid or Barcelona. But our next game is in the Capital One Cup. This is against Watford, who I remember playing Watford in my first game for Aston Villa as Aston Villa manager, in what I think must have been around this time last year. And I had a lot of fun in that save, but my first game with Aston Villa was like a baptism of fire, where like at one point in the game it was 3-3 and Watford went on to win like 5-3, and it was a really, really good game. But because of that, I sort of feared them a little bit and the way that they played. But Jay Hemmings came close in the first minute. He's the guy who's like, he was a free agent and he's really young, and he's an English striker with 5-star skills and a 5-star weak foot. So I hope he turns into something really good. But in the 9th minute of the game, the ball comes into Igalo inside the box. He is a former Wigan striker, isn't he? Or did they just sign him in a career mode and I've gotten confused? Either way, he puts Watford 1-0 up in the 9th minute, and this sort of confirmed my fears at the start of the game, that they were well-placed fears. And that's so weird, that chest sticking out thing. I don't like that at all. But hey, hashtag feel the game. The ball comes into Victor Andrade in the 20th minute, and he does really well with the control to take it beyond the defender and round the goalkeeper before finishing with his left foot and making it 1-1, which really did, like, you know, make a lot of my fears subside, because it is Watford. No disrespect to them, but they are in the division below us and we are Manchester United, and we've done really well in this tournament so far. But Sean Murray plays the ball into Smith, who finds Igalo in the 36th minute, who goes for the strike, but is saved by David De Gea. Then we got a corner kick in the 44th minute, and Juan Jesus scores his first goal in a Manchester United jersey as he puts us 2-1 up. And it's a shame for Watford, because they did come close. They took the lead, they came very close to retaking the lead, and then they concede a scrappy goal from a corner. But that's what happens sometimes, and that's why you sign players like Juan Jesus, because they've got good heading and they're big and strong, and they manage to score goals from corners. But we come up to the 58th minute of the game, and this botched clearance comes to and Smith volleys it from outside the box, but it goes just wide. Then about 2 minutes later, we came forward with the ball coming to Memphis Depay on the left hand side of the pitch as he takes on the Watford defence, and he does really well to get round the tackle of Smith just then, but sadly his shot is woeful, just like he is an ultimate team when it comes to shooting like that, if anybody has used them. But the ball comes to Jay Hemmings in the 68th minute as he comes charging forward against the Watford defence, looking for the run, and Victor Andrade with the pace getting into a great position. He crosses it and he gets brought down allegedly. Now, I kind of stopped showing replays for penalties because it's generally always a penalty, but this one is so weird, mainly because the replay is so inconclusive. Like, the cameraman is like the furthest possible away person, it seems, to get a good look at it, and I can't even tell if it was a penalty or not. But Jay Hemmings stepped up to try and score his first goal in a United jersey, which he thankfully did. Thankfully for him. I hope he does well. Like, he'll never get a chance in the team, will he, with Villalba and Vieto? And if I go for a formation experimentation, then we'll have Gareth Gareth Bale up front or James Rodriguez as a false 9 or something like that. But the game ends in a 3-1 victory for us, which was really good to bounce back from the 2 draws in a row that we had in all competitions. In fact, 4 draws in a row in all competitions, because we drew with Sunderland and Chelsea in the last episode. So it is good to get over those draws, because I hate draws and I want to win all the games. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. I don't think there'll be another episode later, but if you guys want to leave a like on the video anyways to support this series, that would be awesome. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.